entering class coming this fall is 243 freshmen. So a lot of you, that might be smaller than your actual high school, right? For some of you, it might think, whoa, I'm going to know everyone by the time I get done in my 4 years. And it's true. And the great thing that links all 900 undergraduate students at Caltech is their math, science, engineering enthusiasm, their passion for it. That is something they're not only excited about, but they want to research, they want to be in a classroom with a faculty member, they want to be engaged in conversations. Really that opportunity for that 3-to-1 student-faculty ratio where that interaction is happening. It's very rare you're ever going to be in a class of this size. On average, our classes are about 20 students, and they're all taught by faculty members. Lab sections can be even smaller. So it's a very collaborative, community-based. You get to know each other no matter what department you go into, what discipline you decide to go. And it's a great way also to get exposure to science, math, and engineering as a broad field. Caltech, with its 900 undergraduates, also has 1,000 graduate students, a little over 500 postdocs, and over 350 faculty members, including 5 Nobel laureates who are currently in residency and actually teach a certain sections. The most recent one was Dr. Grubbs, who won a Nobel laureate award in 2005. So if you think of great Emmy, when they get the Oscars, those type of parties, that's what happened when he won the Nobel Prize. So Caltech also loves the fact that our students come because of their passion in science, math, and engineering, and the way they demonstrate that is their enthusiasm for our core curriculum. When you're looking at colleges and universities, you always want to ask, what are the courses that are going to be required of me to take? When and how long is it going to take for me to get into those classes that I'm really excited about? And what are those other courses that are going to be required throughout the 4 years? Caltech has a very unique curriculum where its foundation really goes into science, math, and engineering. You have to be able to cross-communicate across the fields. You have to have a basis of knowledge. When you hear of new inventions, new research, it's usually not one person or one discipline, right? It's usually teams. And you're probably working in teams at Cosmos. You're finding students who have different interests and different expertise that are coming together and sharing. At Caltech, it's the same way. And we run in terms, so we have 3 terms per year. And so I think what's important for you to keep that in mind is that I'm going over what is called our Common Core Curriculum. At Caltech, you are required to take 5 terms of math and 5 terms of physics. You get excited about that, right? You love math and physics. Yeah? No? Yeah? 2 terms of chemistry, a term of biology, a freshman mini course that is deceiving in its name. It's actually a science course outside the type of courses you've already taken. So think of astronomy, geoscience, something outside of what you typically would see in a high school. You have 2 science writing labs, because you're going to be doing very different kind of writing. You're going to have opportunity to get published, you're going to be doing research papers, so getting that skill set down is important. You're also going to have 2 science labs. You're going to be in the lab with multi-million research tools as early as your freshman year. We don't want you to break them. We don't want you to hurt yourself, so you have to take some labs on safety courses and being able to get exposed to the various labs we have on campus. We actually have 72 research institutions on campus, and when you're walking around our campus, you're not allowed to go into a lot of the big buildings because that's where a lot of our research is being done, and you have to sign your life away when you join Caltech, and you're going to keep everything secret, and just kidding. But actually, there are a lot of opportunities for that, and that's why you have to have these research lab trainings. So right there is that sequential math, science, understanding, no matter if you're going to be a comp sci student, a Mickey, a double E, whatever you might decide you want to study, you need that foundation. And for Caltech, that means all 230 students are going through that together. It goes all the way to the end of your 2nd term of your 2nd year at Caltech. You've now gotten to know students in various areas, various expertise, right? And it's also going to give you a good understanding of what you want to specialize in. So by the end of your freshman year, you pretty much have decided and declared what discipline you're going to go into. Now we know our students love math, science, and engineering, but we also want to keep them well-rounded and somewhat balanced. So we also require 12 terms of humanities and social science courses you have to take throughout your 4 years at Caltech. We have everything from different foreign languages, English literature. We even have a philosophy section, which I think would be really cool to sit in on with a bunch of Caltech students. Because if you like science, math, and engineering, it's because there's always a sequential way of getting to an answer, right? Philosophy, there's never an answer. So I'd love to see how Caltech students tackle that. Because our students really like getting to a solution. We have our business entrepreneurship management courses that a lot of our students get excited about. We're thinking about engineering. A lot of times the ideas of entrepreneurship come through. So you have about 20% of our students who double major, and the most popular second major is our BEM. So a lot of different types of courses you can take in humanities and social sciences. It's only 12 terms, and it's spread throughout your 4 years at Caltech. The last part of our core that's required is offer the traditional type PE courses you would think of, but we also have Dance Revolution you can take for PE credit. So if you're a DDR fan, that's a great way to get that PE credit out. Also, our table tennis courses are taught by a former Olympian, so if you think table tennis is easy, it's not going to be with her. So some different type of classes, again, to get you out there, get you out of the lab, get you engaged in communicating and about exploring different fields. We do have more limited offerings in social sciences and humanities, so that is something that you have to keep in consideration, because again, our students are coming to Caltech because math, science, and engineering. You can be a literature major, but you have to be okay with 5 terms of math and physics, right? So those are some of the things that you'll see in our Common Core curriculum. We also have what is called our pizza classes, and that happens during your freshman year. They're 1-hour courses that you go to, and you have different faculty members who are leading the roundtable discussions, telling you about their research. Maybe it's Dr. Baltimore telling you about his Nobel Prize and telling you about the research he's done. Maybe it's that math professor that you've heard a lot of rave about. It's an opportunity to go in and listen to them as you're trying to figure out what you want to major in, and also get what a lot of college students get, free food, which is usually pizza. So that's a great time for you to be able to have those pizza talks to figure out what you want to study. Caltech understands a lot of our students who are coming in for the first time are going to be amongst intellectual peers. Here at Cosmos, you probably have common denominators already with your interests, right? So at Caltech, for a lot of them, it's the first time they're in a classroom setting where people are excited about math and physics, that are at the same intellectual level that they're at, that are actually pulling their weight in group work, that for the first time they might have homework, or they might have to actually ask for help. So to help with that type of transition, because it is going to be a transition, right? We actually have our first 2 terms as pass-fail. So you do not get a physical grade your first 2 terms at Caltech. And with that, you get progress reports for midterms. The faculty is letting you know how you're doing, so it's not all in the blind. But what's great about that, it takes off a little bit of the stress of getting that perfect grade. Helps you understand balance, studying, helps you also get an idea what it's like to be a college student at Caltech. All these skill sets that are really important to be successful and happy. So your first grade doesn't come until your 3rd term before summer break. That's the first time you'll actually get a college transcript with grades on it. So again, helping with that adjustment. Also, Caltech has an honor code that we're really embedded in that will not take unfair advantage of any other member of our community. A part of that honor code is we look at you as peers. So our faculty will actually give take-home finals. So all your finals will be take-home. You'll have dead week, which is time to study. Then you have a week that you'll get your finals at the beginning of the week. You get understanding of how you can collaborate, how you can't, what you can use, and you're ready to go. So if you're someone who loves and just really does well working through the midnight hour in those finals, you can do that. If you're someone who has that one little nook in the library that you set up camp and you don't leave for 48 hours, you can do that as well. We know science, math, and engineering students have their own environment they do well in, so we want to be able to allow you that opportunity. Labs are also open 24/7. Again, really supporting you academically through your experience at Caltech. The other big highlight about Caltech is research. All of our students have the opportunity through SURF, Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship, very appropriate for our SoCal students, right? SURF is a great way of 10 weeks of research that you can do and get a stipend of $6,000. Not bad for a summer job. In fact, ask your parents what they did in the summertime and how much they got paid. I worked at a deli, and that was not something honestly I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It was just a summer quick job. At Caltech, you're actually in a lab with postdocs, graduate students, working with faculty, working on various projects, research that's ongoing. I've known students who've worked with tiny electron wires to duplicate nerve endings to help restore sight. I've known a group of students dealing with sustainability issues actually came up with solar paint, with the idea that you could paint your house with this paint, solar paint, and run on solar energy for 24 hours. The kicker is you have to repaint it at the end of 24 hours. So probably not the most practical, but that's what science, math, and engineering is. It's exploring, pushing boundaries. You have that opportunity to do that at Caltech. We also have 8 research facilities that we own and or manage off of campus site. The Palmer Observatory, the Keck Observatory. The largest one is NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL. And what actually happens is Caltech manages JPL, but it's owned by NASA, and it's 15 minutes away from our campus. So you have a lot of students who are working at JPL. And when you hear about exploration of Mars, various satellites going into orbit, that's all coming from JPL. In fact, they have a new launch coming up this fall that some of our students actually worked with. So again, the idea of experience and exposure is not just limited to our campus. There's a lot of opportunities off campus too, along with other students maybe doing research at Berkeley, maybe it's MIT, maybe it's Stanford. The idea is being able to provide you with that hands-on experience. The other piece, of course, is internships. There's a lot of opportunity. unique ones like a Pixar, the more popular trendy ones now for your generation, Facebook, Apple, and then also traditional like at Boeing, Northrop Grumman, the more hardcore industry type jobs. So a lot of opportunities through that, and the idea is to not only get exposure hands-on to think ahead, right, but to also figure out what is college for me and what is going to happen after Caltech. And about 60% of our students continue their career in education. They are going to master PhD programs. There are a handful of them in medical school. We actually have a young lady who's going to dental school this year. So it depends on what your interests are in, but 60%, that means over half of our students are exploring education post-graduation. Early on, the faculty they're meeting, they're interacting with helps with that as well. About 40% will go straight into the work field, and the average starting salary for our graduates is at $72,000, $73,000. Not too bad for your first job, let me tell you. So Caltech, again, provides a lot of rich experience, networking, opportunity to really seek out. The other side of Caltech is living there. We have a housing system that I would say probably Harry Potter modeled out ours, maybe? Can go that far now. It's 8 houses, very unique in characteristics. You're actually going through rotation, steering orientation, and you'll find houses that right away you find your quirky personality match. You'll find houses that you're like, oh, I'm not too sure that's for me. And just like in Harry Potter, they have mascots, they have personalities, they have themes, they have house colors, they have inter-house athletics. And at the end of rotations, you'll know which ones you like and which ones are just not for you. You rank them, they're ranking you, and magically you're sorted into that perfect house. And you move into that house. So you're not off in South Quad where you cannot touch any upperclassmen. You actually move in and you're living with 60 to 90 upperclassmen along with peers of first years just like you. You have house dinners Monday through Friday. You actually have waiters, and the waiters are pretty important. They control the flow of water pipes. So the idea is to have this new community you're a part of, along with Caltech and our quirky traditions. We freeze vegetables with liquid nitrogen and dump them off in the Millikan Library because there's supposedly a green spark. We've changed the Hollywood sign to say Caltech. Now there's a giant fence around the Hollywood sign and security guards. We actually won a Rose Bowl football game and we don't have a football team. We actually hacked into the Rose Bowl scoreboard and had Caltech some score, MIT some other score. So again, we have a lot of fun with our intelligence. There on campus, we have 150 clubs, organizations. We have the Rubik's Cube Club. We have Baseline, which are snowboarders, skateboarders, and longboarders. We have a little bit of everything that you see at all campuses as well at Caltech. The chess club, robotics is really big. And then we also have Division III athletics. Did anyone hear about our men's basketball team? Yeah, we're featured in these pictures. Yeah, we won our first conference game in 26 years. Really excited about that. And I'm really glad to do who our students are. Everyone showed up. It was a lot of fun. And we really do support. We're hoping to make it 2 wins this upcoming basketball season. So a lot of neat things that happen at Caltech. The idea, yes, you're passionate about science, math, and engineering. Our students, when they're applying to Caltech, have to answer a lot of questions that are focused to science, math, and engineering. In high school, you have to at least take in calculus and physics. So the idea, again, being based in that world of science, math, and engineering. Also that unique niche of quirkiness, funness. We like to prank, laugh at ourselves, and then the academic structure of it. So hopefully, if you found this interesting, again, I'm sorry I don't have the presentation on, but you can definitely visit our website. We have student bloggers, a lot of opportunity for you to come and visit us through our summer programs during the school year, and I'm glad to see hands of people who have already visited, and I'll be outside too with some more information that you might have. But thank you very much, and hopefully this is helpful to give you a little bit of a taste of who Caltech is.